Hi, this is Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today we're going to talk about some hanna-barbera cartoons that were made in the 70s and 80s. Now, the first one we're going to talk about the 70s stuff first. Now, the first one one of my favorites was Speed Buggies from 1973. And yeah, I think this was as good as Josie and the Pussycats. And I got that one too, but I don't got it with me. And Josie and the Pussycat was better than Scooby Doo. Then after Josie and the Pussycats, then this came out, and this was just as good. And these people or the characters had real crazy bad guys, and they knew how to fight back, just like Josie and the Pussycat knew how to fight back their bad guys. They were like Scooby Doo, where they would run around the whole show, and you had two scary cats. Mostly in this show, you had one scary cat that looked like what's that Shaggy, but this guy was better than Shaggy because he didn't run as much. He stood up. Just like the other guy in Josie and the Pussycat looked like Shaggy, and he ran, but he wasn't as scared as Shaggy was. In the car was a fighter also, Speed Buggy. He wasn't as he wasn't as crazy as Scooby Doo was. He didn't really run. And if you and this ran from 73 to 74. So this ran for 16 episodes. So I think this ran for, well, that's a short show. So this ran for one season, I'm thinking. They could have ran for two seasons. I don't know how they had it out back in the days. But this was a Saturday morning picture. And then, oh yeah, I don't know if I showed you the cover or not. And if I could find Josie and the Pussycats, I'll show you that show too. But not right now. That'll be probably another episode. I don't got it handy. And then you had Cool Club from 1978, and this was real good too. This had a nice this had a nice theme song to it, and the background music was real great also. Had that disco ness to it, and the characters was was better than the Mystery Club characters from the Scooby Doo show. I think after Scooby Doo, they started to learn the format of how to make a good crime cartoon, a mystery crime. And you had the two dogs. You had the brown dog was always a scary cat. You had the white dog that he thought he was like a Sherlock Holmes character, and he always tried to pretend he was brave till the going got tough. And he became a chicken, and then the brown dog became the brave one. And then you had the smart kid in this picture right here. She was kind of like the first Penny because she had the computer book. She had a big old computer in her bedroom. So I think this is where they got the idea from Penny. I'm thinking. Because I don't think if it wasn't for her, I don't think we would have had Penny and Inspector Gadget. They both had the same technology, even though the technology they had didn't really come out until years later. And this is the back of the picture. And this only had, let's see how many episodes this thing had. It doesn't say, but this would have been a first season also, a one season show. And then we had, I think this came next, the 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 Karate Bear show. Now this guy, what he was, I think this guy was able to change. He was going invisible a lot, and he was come, and he would go invisible to grab this wolf crazy because this wolf was trying to eat him, and he would go invisible and pop up all over the place. It was like a road runner coyote kind of show. And then there was like three cartoons in this show. The second one was with a little red cat, and you had a little red cat, a gray mean dog, and you had a guy with a raccoon kind of hat, like a Davy Crockett kind of look. And that was probably one of the best ones too. Cause the dog and the man would always trying to catch this red cat all the time for that show. Let's see if it says who's in here. Let's see. It'd be nice if they show some of this stuff. No, and then you had the other show where we had two dogs, a big goofy dog and a little short dog that were trying to get into show business, and they would rotten as to be. They weren't very good at it, but they kept trying to go into it and kept getting kicked out. And these were the characters, as I was talking about. And this show ran from 1980 to 81. Now I think this show, after it had came out, because I seen this show in the late 80s, 85, 86, 87, around that time. And then years later, after the 80s, I saw this show on Cartoon Network back in the days when they would show all the retro cartoons, and you got to see every kind of cartoon that was ever made. And I saw it a second time around that way. Then I saw it again when they released it to TV again in the 2000s, and it's pretty good. And then when I saw it on DVD, when this would release, let's see if this got a release date. Okay, 2016. 2016. This got released, and I had to buy it because I love the show that much. I had to get it before it disappeared. And watching it again, it was pretty good. It was just wasn't that good as when I saw it in my 20s. But it did my collection, so now I know I can go back and try to watch this a fourth time around. And then our last one was Shirttails, where these people live in a tree, and their shirt turned, I think it turned colored or got powdered on the shirts, and they have a zookeeper kind of character trying to make sure they don't escape, and they would go on little adventures. And this cartoon came out in, let's see, I think this cartoon came out in 80. I think it came out in 80 also. And it ran up until 82. But I seen this show after it was released and everything. So I seen this show about 3 or 4 years later after the show got canceled. And it came on, I think it came on Saturday when I seen it. And you had to wake up early in the morning to watch this stuff because it came on by 8, 9 o'clock in the morning back in the mid 80s, 85, 86. Then I seen it again on Cartoon Network when they would show these old things. And when I saw it on DVD, see when this came out. They got the year so small that it takes me a while to find the years. Okay, they don't got the year on this one. But I think this came out during the same time they released this one. I think they both got released at the same time. And these are the characters. Okay, that'll be easier. And this had a nice theme song also. And they released a lot of these Hanna-Barbera archive collections. Okay, Hanna-Barbera classic collection. So this one in the archive. No, this was real DVDs. I think so. Let's see. Nope, these are like real DVDs. They don't have that kind of funniness on the bottom. See? Because the archive had that kind of purplish stuff in the bottom of the DVDs. So I think these were real releases. Okay, I never knew that. I thought they were the archives, but something new I learned. So them was the four Hanna-Barbera stuff. They got a lot more. They had so many on Amazon that I liked, but these were these were the four I can get at the time because at the time these things were like I think they were like $15, and the other ones I wanted were like $20 to $30. So I said, let me get the $15 ones first before they go up sky high and I can't get any of them. So, so please like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. We have another video coming out real soon.